Do you find that there are times when you have something you want to create in your life, and that no matter how hard you try, there's blocks that keep coming up, there's resistance that gets in the way, and it's almost like you don't know exactly what to do in order to create whatever you want in your life, whether that's a new job, abundance, money, love, whatever it is. The reason this is, and what this directly has to do with, is understanding the level of consciousness we're in. We could also say the vibration. And when we raise our vibration, things become easier than ever. And what I want to do is in this video show you the difference between manifesting from a lower vibrational state of consciousness where we want or need something that we don't feel like we already have, versus a higher level where we realize that everything we want is simply inside of us, because all the outer reality is a reflection of our inner reality. And when we make that switch, everything changes. So I want to show you the difference between lower vibe manifestation and high vibe manifestation. And I think this video can absolutely transform your life and help you stay in this vibration to create the life of your dreams. Welcome back to another video. Me llamo Aaron. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to manifest from a higher level of consciousness. Because we'll find that when we are in shame, fear, guilt, or anger, and we try to create what we want, but we have this energy that's maybe bottled up or suppressed inside of us, we keep experiencing block after block after block, and that's because the energy is more dense. And this was me for years, by the way, especially in 2012, 2013, 2014, when I was working 9-to-5 job and knew I wanted to be on YouTube. I was working through a lot of emotion. I was still feeling somewhat angry at my past from not having much of a childhood between 7 to 16 years old. I found that I was angry at the system, angry at the job that I had. And what happened is I just kept experiencing blocks after blocks after blocks. And what you'll notice is that there's also this, let me see if I can turn this around real quick. There's this little chart right here that I think really helps understand it. I don't know if you guys can see it. You know what I'll do? I'll just have Daniel, can you just put this chart right next to you, right here? So what you'll notice is this chart right here. You'll see that you have different levels of consciousness, but you'll see that at the very bottom is inaction. Inaction, that is shame through fear, is inaction. Well, I was afraid of getting on YouTube. I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of these things, and I was also dealing with that energy, and I just didn't know exactly what action to take. So I stayed inactive. I was more so caught up in my story about myself and my story about why I was where I was, working a job I didn't like. Now above that, you'll see hyperactivity. Now manifesting from the level of hyperactivity, what that's like, is that's where you really, really want something. That's where you feel like you need something. There's almost a craving for it, and you'll take a lot of action, you'll do a lot of things, and you'll find that in desire through pride, that what happens is because there's an attachment, that's really what it is. It's an attachment to an outcome. It's an attachment to a desire. And the more we have that cravingness is the more that we feel needy, and the more we feel needy is the more we also block that which comes into our life, what we want to come into our life. Now think of this. There's two different vibrations for the sake of this segment. One is, I want money. One is realizing that you're in a flow, doing what you're passionate about, adding value to other people, realizing money is a side effect of that value. And you being in that vibration is different. Let's just even make this simpler. I want money versus I have money. They're different vibrations. If you want it, you lack it. And if you have it, you have it and you don't want it. Isn't that the funny thing? So what happens is desire actually blocks what we want. Now sometimes what can happen is people can desire it, and by the time they let go of the desire, then that thing comes flooding in and they say, oh, well look, I desired it and I got it. But that's not how it actually worked. You desired it, then you were in the vibration of it, you were being it, and you let go a little bit, and when you let go, that's when it came in. Anytime I've really, really wanted something, I've created resistance around it, especially anytime I've put anything on a pedestal. There have been times that I was looking at a house, for example, and there was competition for this house. Because there was, maybe that's a limiting belief, But there was like 6 people that applied for this house in Vegas, and there wasn't that many houses that I really liked that I saw. And guess what happened? At first I put it on a pedestal. It's like, I really, really want this. And then I realized I was creating resistance around it. See what I know I did? I Jedi mind tricked it because I know this stuff. I learned from experience, a lot of pain of the opposite of that happening, where it didn't happen. So I let go of it. I imagined being in it. I let go of the outcome completely and kind of trusted the universe. And then what happened is out of the 6 different people, got the house. So the key to this is understanding anything we put on a pedestal, we make important, we're in that desire to pride level of hyperactivity. Hyperactivity ain't so fun. It's needy, it's a want, and guess what? People feel that energy. So from a lower vibrational state of wanting and craving, you'll see that people just pick up on that energy. Women will especially know this. If you get a needy guy, someone's like, oh, like, please do text me back, please do this. That's because that person is in desire to pride level. Rather than knowing that their cup is full, having the self-value of knowing their own worth. And there's different levels in my own life that I've worked through this worthiness thing where I become more and more worthy. And now more than ever, I feel more grounded with how I prefer to be, but also knowing that I'm already enough. I don't need anyone else. So it's a different mentality. And then you feel whole and complete, and guess what? Your energy is more attractive anyways. So it's a double, it's kind of like a paradox in a way, or something. It's like a hyperbole, metaphor, paradox. It's one of those. I don't know which one, okay? Then you'll see the middle levels. You've got courage to acceptance. That's happiness and productivity. Now here's one of the most important things. When you look at that scale and you see the level of reasoning, now the level of reasoning is the intellect of the mind. It's the meaning that we give to things. Now, one of the most powerful ways to raise your vibration is to be doing what you are passionate about. Doing what you're passionate about. Being that version of you. When I was there was a time, by the way, when I was feeling those lower vibrational emotions and I wanted to make money online. So what I did is I learned something called Kindle publishing, which is where what I do is I find out, it's like a way of making passive income. What I do is I get these ideas I become a marketer and I look at these ideas for nonfiction books. And then what I do is I hire writers to write these books. I put it together, I own it, and then I put it out there and get like a royalty on it or something like that. And if I have enough books, then I make money. Well, guess what? I bought this course, I was doing it, but guess what happened? I wasn't actually passionate about it. It was like a lot of work for me to actually focus on it and for me to actually do it. And also I felt a lot of those lower vibrational emotions. I wasn't passionate though, that was one of the main things. After 2 weeks I gave up because I wasn't passionate. Well, guess what? When I started on YouTube and I started making daily videos, even after 2 weeks when nothing crazy happened, I kept going because I was passionate about it. I actually enjoyed it. And I felt like it was also a thing that added value to other people, and it was something that I wanted to, I felt like it was part of my heart, like it's my soul in a way, connected to my soul, like what I was meant to be doing in the world. So every single one of you, when you begin to do what you're passionate about, the meaning you give things, you begin to go on this quest to either find it or realize it's already within you, but you to be that way, you're going to find more and more of a reflection in your life of that. That's one of the best ways to raise your vibration. And there's really 2 aspects to raising your vibration. It is passion, doing what you love, going after that, creating life on your terms, becoming the star of your own movie. Secondly, neutrality. You'll see neutrality at 250. This is where you learn meditation. You learn how to observe your thoughts. This is also releasing resistance. When you do these 2 things, your life will transform. It's those 2 things. It's really all it takes. Another thing I would add to that is finding other high vibe tribe people. Finding other high vibe members. People that you resonate with at a deep level. And if you haven't seen this already, you didn't even know about this, maybe you haven't gone through this yet, one of the most popular things that I've ever done is I have a 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge. 21 days, you get a video every single day with homework that you apply into the community. There's a Facebook group, private Facebook group for it. You do these activities, and over the course of 21 days, there's a new high vibrational you. And there's over 3,000 people that have been through this, and so many people say it's completely transformed their life. You can see the testimonials by clicking the link below. But also there's a high vibe tribe that you have access to for life of people that are just like you all over the world. So that's something that you can check out too by clicking the link below. But those are like the 3 pillars, I would say. I'm gonna make a whole video on this, on the 3 pillars. It's passion, neutrality, high vibe tribe. Having other people, even if your environment, it's kind of like your environment as well. What books are you reading? What music you listen to? These are all things that influence your vibe. Even through osmosis, like the people you're around, the problems that they have or the challenges they have, subconsciously, those are leaking onto you. Now, on the other side of that, the things they figured out, the things that they've worked on, that's also leaking on you. So it could be good, it could be bad, depends upon your circle. But nonetheless, when you look at this, right here, you got happiness, productivity, and then peak performance without stress. So when you're in the flow state, there's like a chart with a flow, it talks about the flow state. But anyways, there's this chart and it shows like when you're in this, there's a certain level of like kind of challenge, but also passion, and there's like this sweet spot. When you're in that, you're in peak performance, focus, and flow. And that's when you're doing something that's very meaningful to you, that's when you're in that vibe. Now at the higher levels, higher level manifestation, you wanna know what this is? It's synchronicity. This is love to enlightenment. Synchronicity and extraordinary outcomes. Now this is when you're in a high vibe state, and what you're doing is you're focused on gratitude. That's one way to get into that state. That's when you're in alignment with who you really are, and you're just authentically, unapologetically being yourself. This is when you are following that passion as well and seeing the different synchronicity that lines up. And this is when you're just realizing that reality is meant to be magical. At the bottom levels, we believe reality is hard. We believe that we have to work really hard to be successful. That's even in action. People believe you have to work hard, so why would you work hard? It's a lot of work. But then when you realize you can do it, when I started making daily videos on YouTube, which is my passion, and I did it every single day, it changed my identity. I was then in happiness and productivity. Very shortly, I got rid of a job I didn't care about, selling women's shoes, and like 6 months later. Happened very quickly. My life only 3 years ago, I was working a 9-to-5 job that I did not enjoy. Didn't know what to do. Like this stuff can happen very, very fast for you. All you have to do is take responsibility for your vibration. And realize that low vibration is all about attachment. We are attached to the past. That puts us in shame, fear, guilt, or anger. We're attached to the future. That puts us in fear. Things shouldn't or should have happened. That could be grief. Or we really, really want something that we feel we lack, and that's hyperactivity. If you let go of those things, that's also the part of synchronicity I was thinking about that I couldn't remember to say. Synchronicity and extraordinary outcomes, it's letting go and allowing the universe to manifest for you. It's a very crazy paradox, but when you let go, the ego wants to control. The ego is in the middle levels, the bottom to the middle levels. And the ego thinks that if I remain attached to this stuff, then it's going to continue to happen the way that I want. But it's actually the opposite. The more you let go is the more you allow the flow.